Poople's cat. Today we're going to learn how to stop the bleed, because it's an important thing to know. Stop the Bleed's an international organisation set up in the States in response to new evidence-based research that came out of multiple mass traumas and bombings. And the idea is that if you can stop the bleed at the site of the incident and then transport them to tertiary care, a realistic hospital setting, as fast as possible, having stopped the bleed at the time, you can actually save lives. And as they say, there's nothing more tragic than So a little bit of background. I haven't taken the course. I have not taught the course. I'm not in any way associated with the people behind the course. My hospital's been started to do this since August of 2017. It does it once a month and it's open to the general public, anybody interested. It costs about $54 Canadian. I am not altogether sure people get the kits, but if they do, it's a good bargain because the kits cost quite a bit of money. So what you'll get out of this video is you'll learn how to actually safely assess the scene, how to deal with somebody who's bleeding, the types of bleeding, what to do about the types of bleeding on scene, and that's about it. This entire video is assuming that SHTF has not happened and that this is a single or multi-casual event. This was designed for multi-casual events, but there's no particular reason why the information given can't actually be used by you at the scene of a sudden trauma. For example, a car accident or a chainsaw or an axe injury. You can actually use these ideas on yourself as well. It does not replace the training in any way. If the training is available to you, I suggest you go and get it. I think there's nothing worse than to have a basic trauma kit that doesn't actually work that well and no experience of how to use it. Oh no, it's a major casualty. Is it safe for me to enter the scene?
No fire, no wire, no glass, no gas. That's
right. So the important thing here is to make sure that I'm safe. I don't want to become a casualty as well. So this goes into what the nature of the incident is. If it's a car crash or a chainsaw accident, you're fine. If it's a mass shooting or a mass knifing or there's been a bomb gone off, is it safe for you to be in this area? Really consider that. If you feel any threat at all, you leave. If you can, drag the victim with you, but if you can't, get out and stay out. So the scene's safe or the scene's unsafe. Either way, contact 911 immediately. Now if there's bystanders around, designate 2 of them separately to go and call 911. Both of them, go over there, call 911, go over there, call 911. And say to them, tell them that we have a casualty or we have multiple casualties due to a bomb blast or due to a knife attack or due to a shooting. Give them an idea of the level of response. If you have other bystanders, have 1 or 2 of them designate to stand and supervise the scene. Say to them, I want you to stand there and control the crowd, right? You don't want lots of people rushing in here all saying, oh, I do St. John's Ambulance and taking over. You want control of the scene. The other thing in a mass shooting, mass bombing event is that the bystanders will be looking out for the police. Right? They can help you, get stuff for you, but they can also look out for the police. So when the police show up and they see you, say you're holding a weapon because you found a weapon, they might shoot you, right? So the bystanders are going to go treating, or whatever, however signal you want, so you don't actually get shot. Now not surprisingly, they talk about gloves. And gloves are a good idea, but I want you to bear in mind a couple of things about gloves. First off, if your skin is intact underneath, it's the same as having a glove. You don't actually need gloves if you have intact skin. But the problem with these gloves is that any glass or debris or wood fibre will rip through the glove. So bear that in mind. These do not protect you from trauma. They only merely stop the blood touching your skin. And that's only really an issue if you then touch your mouth or your eyes, or if there's a cut on your hand. So gloves are nice, but don't rely on them. And if you can, have 2 pairs of gloves on. It's always better to have 2 gloves on than just single. So here I've assessed her. Assessment means stripping as far as you can, but in a trauma situation, strip the area you're looking at. Don't start looking for secondary injuries until you've treated the primary injury if the primary injury is serious. Now in terms of this, what we have here is an injury here, okay? And it's bleeding a lot. So the question is, well, it's bleeding a lot, what does that mean? Well, first off, blood always looks far more significant than it usually is. The mental condition of the person is much more important than the volume of blood you're seeing. Except, if you see this spurting, you actually want to stop it straight away, because that means it's an artery, and arteries will bleed very fast. If you see the blood just pouring out in a continuous flow, it's venous. You've got a little bit more time, but not that much. If you just see things just swelling with blood, little bits, dripping little bits, that can look really serious, especially if it's the head or the arm, there's a large area. But actually the blood loss is not that much. For example, to get a pint of blood on the ground, because blood spreads, you'd be looking at about 1 metre or so of actual blood on the ground. So if you're not used to this and you see an area of blood like this on the ground, you're going to go, ah! Consider what's going on. Now the first thing you need to do, if you have, is put direct pressure on, with or without gloves. Make sure that you've got intact skin. Direct pressure is both hands over the wound and press hard. And if you can get a book or a flat surface, this is going to make this compression much easier. Now compression is not curled fingers or like this, and this is what you see all the time. It's flat, okay? So you hold that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes if the scene's safe, and stop bleeding. Job's done. No need to put a tourniquet on, maybe put a dressing on if you feel like it, and then transport her out of here. I have an injury. Somebody brings me some dressings. I open the dressing. The inside's sterile. Shiny side of all dressings is the part you put on the wound. Put it on and compress. Both hands firmly. Put a book underneath. If you don't have a dressing, don't wait to get a dressing. Rip off your t-shirt if you need to. If somebody goes and gets you a tea towel, open the tea towel like this, hopefully a clean tea towel. The inside's going to be clean than the outside, and compress. This is a rat's tourniquet. Comes with instructions. First time you read these instructions, the first time you use this, make darn sure you don't need to use it for real. Help! Help! Don't assume that the victim's going to be cooperative. That's why you might want to keep people around to help you. Having put the tourniquet on in this situation, you leave it on. And if the hand goes red, if the hand goes red, what you've done is you've occluded the veins. If it's an arterial bleed, it's still going to hemorrhage. The hand or the foot should actually go completely white, and it should be painful. So I would say we should be able to do this a little tighter than it is, but it's certainly painful. And starts to burn as well. So again, a conscious casualty, they're going to complain about all of this.
You're blanching a little.
A little. But you'd want it actually to have no blood flow from here to there, no blood flow. And that's the actual goal of this. So it can be put on tight, but again, practice was going to make perfect. Right, Bear?
Okay.
Oh!
So we have a gaping belly wound. Okay, so we have a tummy wound. And if you have bandages, great, you can use those. We want to fill the wound, okay? And then you can also use just a clean tea towel, anything that you've got on hand basically. Put it in that wound right inside of it and fill that up. You're going to want to put some pressure on it, but not an enormous amount. You're going to want to let the dressings themselves start to help it clot and stop bleeding.
So if it fills with blood, dressings on top of the dressings, don't remove dressings. And in this scenario, society is intact, so stuff it in as tight as you can. It's not very good for the long-term prognosis. But when you get to a tertiary care hospital, they're going to go to the operating room, they'll easily remove it, they'll remove any debris, and they'll start IV antibiotics. Stop the bleed, save the life.